Okay, well, thank you guys so much for joining. My heart could literally burst, and I will try to keep my emotions together because this is a big stinking deal in my world. So I am so grateful to have all of you beautiful people joining us today and live, even better that it's live. And then if you're watching the recording, thank you for taking the time because I truly, my heart is right here, being able to provide good quality self-care and to be able to love on you guys and to be able to have community, have connection. This is exactly what IOME is all about. So yes, I'm so grateful. We are sharing fun facts. If you want to jump on, welcome Catherine. I'm so glad that you are on. If you'd like to share a fun fact about yourself, jump into the comments and share and read through some of these other hilarious fun facts. But what I want to do is just start with some expectations for the evening. We will try to wrap up before 9 o'clock. I know I had it for the full hour and a half, but I'd rather end early than end late. So just so you know, we can try to keep that. But get comfortable, grab a glass of wine if you'd like to, cup of tea, some water. I've got my big honkin' water because I'm trying to get my water goal in. So get comfortable and join us tonight. We are going to encourage participation. We're going to be talking a lot about what IOME can do and what self-care is all about and how we can meet this guilt-free self-care mission of what IOME does. And so I want to hear how we can do that with each of you, or where your struggles are, or what is self-care for you, because it's going to be so different for each of us. So I encourage participation. If we're in the middle of chatting, having a conversation, put it in the chat box and we will address it either right then or wait till the end. If you have questions, please feel free to jump those in. You can also ask questions privately and confidentially. You can just share them directly to me or Morgan or one of the business partners, and then they can just answer the question anonymously to the group. And so that's a good way to start this conversation as well. So we are going to talk a little bit about, I want to get an opportunity to get to know each of you. So we're going to just do a brief intro, no pressure, no grammar checks, no nothing like that, I promise. Get to know you guys because again, this is about community and connection. And then we are going to lead into our breathing exercise that Morgan's going to share. And then I'm going to, of course, talk about the purpose of IOME, what we're doing in Denver, why we're doing it. And then we are going to hear from our business partners as well, getting to know a little bit about what self-care they offer. And yeah, answer questions, have conversation. And then, of course, we're going to do our giveaways too, because I'm excited for you guys to be able to have your giveaways. So we're going to do that. Does that sound good? So before we officially get to know each other, I am going to ask a question to each of you just about why you joined today. I want to know your name, why you joined this conversation, and maybe if you are doing self-care, why? If you're not doing consistent self-care, what's preventing you? What's keeping you from that? So think on that for a second, and then I'm actually going to have Morgan lead us in a little breathing technique and exercise and grounding, and she'll explain more of that too. So go ahead, Morgan.
Hey, can everybody hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for, for being here. It's just, I have to take a deep breath really just to kind of bask in the glow of everybody that's on here and just get grounded myself. So I just wanted to, just take the opportunity for this moment to pause. We're going to do a 5-second inhale, a 5-second hold, and then a 5-second exhale. And it's really just to kind of help us get present in the moment. So, so if you feel comfortable, you can put your hand on your heart, or you can, just kind of feel yourself sitting in your seat, and we'll go ahead and get started. So go ahead and just take that 5-second inhale and hold. And exhale. And go ahead and keep going with that. And as you do this, just try to bring your thoughts and your body into the here and now. Really inhale what feels energizing and exhale what feels stagnant for you. Open your heart to the here and now in this moment. And into the power of all the beautiful people on this platform today. And when you feel ready, come back into the moment, into the presence of our leader, Becky.
So sweet. Oh, that's so good. Isn't it incredible when you get intentional and just recognize the here and now and become aware of our bodies and, you know, how we're feeling, and being able to be intentional about breathing in that energy and exhaling that stagnation. I liked how you explained that, because if you're anything like me, I can just be on the go and I can just bulldoze my way through life and things and the to-do lists and the chores and all of it, and often forget to actually take a moment and say, how am I doing, you know? So I'm grateful for that. And that was Morgan's idea, is just being able to start us off in that light where we can be intentional. So thank you for that, Morgan. You're awesome.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Perfect. Okay, well, what a beautiful way to go ahead and start this off. And I would love to just have a brief introduction from our non-business partners, because partners are going to have a little more time at the end to explain who you are and what you do and why you do it. So, and actually we'll just have business partners just briefly say your name and then answering that same question of like, what is good about self-care, and if you are doing it on a consistent basis or not. So I'm just going to go down my list right here. I'm going to start and pick on Kristen. So if you'll just say, just give us a little bit of an intro, and then we'll have time to explain your business at the end. Okay.
Awesome. Sounds good. Okay. So I'm Kristen, and I'm with Relaxing Restorations Massage Therapy in Broomfield, Colorado. Self-care. I've not been doing a very good job with self-care. That's because I've been back in the office for about a month now, since May 10th.
Okay.
And it's mostly time for me, just finding time to stop and do something for myself. So, but I do know it's important. I see people who live in a lot of pain when they're not taking care of themselves. And it really saddens me. So to know that there's a group like this that can really help people, kind of remind them that self-care is so important, so that you're out of pain, whether it's mental health, physical health, emotional health, is really important.
Awesome. Good. Yes, I agree. And I can echo that too. Time can be a constraint for sure. Awesome. Thank you so much, Kristen. All right, Miss Sarah, will you go next?
Yes, I will. And despite the fact that my name tag down there says Liam, that's not who I am. I'm apparently has been on my computer. I'm Sarah, and I probably could be doing more to do self-care. It's just with everything transitioning all the time, and I have two kids, 14 and 11, so they're both getting back into like sports, because those are starting to start up again. So just haven't really taken the time to figure out the new schedule again, because it's always changing universe. Was that all?
That's good. Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah. Perfect. Miss Shannon, will you go next?
course, yeah. I'm Shannon Donnelly. I live in Denver, and I am the owner of Healthy Honeys. And to answer your question about what am I doing for self-care right now, I am the girl who does the facials, gets the massages, does all of the like typical self-care, which is great, right? But
Absolutely.
what I've really seen is it's actually those little changes. And it was interesting because you sent out an email about some self-care tips, and it was about just cleaning the house at the end of the night and like switching that laundry, right? And I did that for myself the other night. I was like about to go to bed and I was like, just switch the laundry. And I did it, and it did feel really good. And it was that like kind of different piece in my mind of like, what is the holistic look of self-care when I look at it maybe on an herbal perspective and a relaxing perspective, but what's that mental piece along with kind of the fulfilling piece of it?
Oh, that's so good. I can't echo that enough. It's the little things, right, that add up and make the big differences. So good. Okay, perfect. Catherine, will you go next, please?
Sure. So I'm Catherine. I have not been so great at self-care. I have a pretty demanding job. I'm a physician assistant, and I also have a 1-year-old. So between those two things, it's been challenging. I try and maybe get in, 15 minutes of yoga when my baby's napping, but it's challenging. So I'm excited to be here.
Oh, so glad. Awesome. And Catherine, how did you find out about us? Are you connected with Morgan or one of the partners? Morgan.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Cool. I'm so glad to have you here. And I can echo that for sure. I'll tell more about me in a minute too, but yes, definitely. Okay, Miss Cynthia, will you go next?
Hi there. So I'm Cynthia Sass, and I am the owner, founder, and sole practitioner of True Skincare in Boulder. And gosh, so what do? I am a licensed esthetician in Colorado and in California, and I am really here just to serve at a level that I feel people really need, working from the inside out for healthy skin, healthy body, and that is a very holistic thing in my perception. So that's my belief. So let's see here. That's pretty much what I can think to say right now. Self-care, I'm sorry. What am I doing for self-care? Morgan, I love that you did the breathing exercise. I listened to something on NPR on Friday, and it was all about the breath. And I've just been spending more time really. The one thing I feel like I can do is just stop and take a breath and try and focus a little bit more on just taking a breath. And getting out every morning with my dog. Thank God I have a dog. So that's my excuse to get out and just, have that few minutes before I start my day in the morning. So that's pretty much how I'm doing my self-care.
Okay,
Thanks,
those are good. I love
thanks
that.
so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
So beautiful. Christy, will you go next if you can?
Yeah. So, I feel like my self-care is like kind of up and down. It feels like it's really hard to juggle that. So I have 3 kids. So we all saw the youngest one, who's almost 2. Then I have a 4-year-old and an almost 7-year-old.
Okay.
But lately I actually we bought an elliptical machine since they can't work out. So I actually started working out an hour a day, 5 days a week.
Good for you.
That's been super awesome. But yeah, it's always hard because it's hard to balance work and kids and self-care, and now our childcare options are a lot more limited. So yeah.
Well, I'm impressed that you're sticking to that and making that a commitment, because it's hard. Yeah. So I'm really impressed. Good job.
It was actually something I did before I had kids. I used to work out a lot, and that was something that was really important to me. And then, I don't know, between the past 7 years of either being pregnant or having small children.
Yeah.
It's hard to like prioritize that. So.
Absolutely. Okay. Awesome. And then do you also know Morgan too, or how did you get? Okay. Perfect. So cool. I'm so glad you're on. Thank you, Christy.
Yeah.
All right. Miss Rosia, will you share? And if you're not able to right this second, I can skip ya. Okay, Miss Tina, can you? And then we'll go back to you, Rosia. Hey.
So I actually never used to do self-care until I got into IOME. I try and do something once a month. Right now I'm working from home, so I'm not leaving a lot. So I actually just go outside and sit on my porch and read a book.
That's so good. I love it. Yes, Tina and I go way back, so it's so fun to have you involved in getting to know some of our Denver partners and continuing to take advantage of your own IOME membership. So, yay.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Cool. Thank you. Beth. Beth, are you there? Make sure you're unmuted just in case. Okay, there she is.
Now is it working?
Yep.
Yeah, my camera is not working at all. I have an older laptop, so I think that's probably what's going on. But sorry about that. So anyway, let's see. I'm Beth Hairston. I know Becky through my daughter, Emily. I live in Inglewood. I do property management and real estate, so I've stayed pretty busy through all this craziness. It's been interesting for sure.
Yeah.
And as far as self-care, I think, so I used to work out, like a couple of the ladies were saying, every day, yoga and, you know, different types of, you know, just working out and so forth. And so now all I can do is hike and walk with my dog every day. And she's like 11. She just turned 11 last week, in fact, and now she's laying at the door tonight like, I'm done. I don't want to walk anymore. Nothing.
Oh,
So,
that's sweet.
yeah, and I just, now that the weather's good, I've started kayaking and stand-up paddleboarding again, because that's, I love those. Yeah, we have a lot of great areas down here for that. Other than that, I just try to see my kids and my grandkids as much as I can. And yeah, so.
Love it. So cool. We're so glad to have you a part of IOME as a partner, and then just in the community for sure. And I'm partial because your daughter's one of my favorites.
She's pretty cool.
She's pretty cool. Your son-in-law, he's all right. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, Miss Laura, are you able to share?
I'm here.
Hi. Hello.
I'm actually like running around doing dishes and stuff right now.
That's totally fine.
But I'm here. So I know Morgan too. Hi, Morgan. And I guess I relate to what a lot of the ladies are saying. I have 3 kids under 4.
Wow.
And I'm a faculty member, so I have a pretty demanding job, and so I find it really hard to take time for self-care when I have so many competing demands. It's like intellectually I know I need to do it, and I like get the whole thing about if I take care of myself, I'll have more to give to other people, but I still feel really guilty about it. Like it's hard for me to actually do it when there's so much to be done. But I do have some sangria, so I'm doing that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I count.
I have been, the thing I started doing was like in the mornings, since all the kids are home now too, you know, it's been like 3 months they've been home out of school. Like I try to go for like a jog or a walk just to get outside and be by myself for, you know, 20 minutes in the morning before my husband goes to work. And that's been nice. So it's just a good way to start my day and be outside. And if I don't feel like running, I just walk. And so I like, at least I get outside, and I try not to make it a thing that like I have to push myself, but just, you know, have some time.
That's so good. I love that, Laura. What a great example. Thank you for sharing. Cool, you guys. So I'll introduce myself since I haven't yet. So my name is Becky Lauritsen, of course. I'm a licensed professional counselor, and then I am the founder of IOME. And so I, like, the reasons I'm hearing today from you guys of some of the obstacles you're facing with self-care, and then some of the benefits that you've experienced by doing self-care, that is why I'm in front of you today, is because of my heart and my passion around what self-care can do for each of us. So a little snapshot of who I am. I'm a country girl at heart, for sure. I live out here in Nunn, a little bitty town. We live on 12 acres. We have our horses. We have our barn cats, which is crazy because I have a fear of cats. So it's kind of a big deal. And then we have a goat who thinks he's a dog, and he's always trying to come into the house. It's really funny. So I'm married to my husband, Tyler. He's a cowboy. We love the cowboy lifestyle, roping, riding, all that good stuff. And then we have two beautiful girls. We have a 5-year-old and a year-and-a-half-old. Yeah, 18-month-old. So we're just loving, where we're at in life right now, trying to make sure that I take moments to be content, to slow down, because again, I can be such a person on the go that I think that is where I will crash. And if I'm not being consistent and intentional with my self-care, I will indeed crash. And typically I will take whoever is around me down with me. And so that is a big part of why I'm here, is because of my own self-care journey, or I should say lack of self-care journey. And that's really what a big part of why I created this program in the way that I did. So I will tell you a little bit more about what it is and where the heart is behind it, because what you guys are saying is so real. I get it. I hear it constantly. I struggle with it myself. The time, the schedules, the work-life balance, the guilt associated to it. All of those things play a role when we are asked to take care of ourselves. And so I get it. I respect that. But I'm also going to challenge it, because you all have heard the saying, you can't pour from an empty cup, right? I want to take that a step further, that I believe that we wake up each morning with an empty cup, and we get to decide what to put into that cup. Sometimes it's intentional, sometimes it's very not. And so if we are choosing to put frustrations, running late, anxieties, fears, doubts, right, lack of that self-care, if we choose to put those things in our cup, the second that we are asked to pour out, which is going to be very quick for us mamas and very quick for us entrepreneurs, or anybody that's taking care of other people in the service industry, then we are going to have what to pour out? The fears, the anxieties, the doubt, the frustrations, So then instead, what happens when we choose to wake up each morning and we fill into our cup love and hope and confidence and patience and grace and whatever else it is that we need to put into our cup, the love, right? The respect. Then the second that we're asked to pour out, that's what we have to give. That's the extra that we have to give to our loved ones. And so that is one of the most selfless things that you can do, is self-care, right? And I know that there's been this hype about self-care. Oh, I can't afford a spa day all day, right? Or I, don't need to take the a bubble bath and drink the glass of wine and eat a box of chocolates. Although that's good and definitely needed at times, but self-care is so much more than that. And so I wanted to tell you the difference between what self-care is and self-indulgence is. So there's self-indulgence, and by definition, that means it's characterized by doing or tending to do exactly what one wants, especially when this involves pleasure. Basically, it's lacking control. Okay, and then the definition of self-care is the practice of taking an active role in protecting one's own well-being and happiness. Isn't that so good? That is such a wow moment for me, is to recognize the difference between self-indulgence and self-care. And I'm not going to diss self-indulgence all the way. There's going to be times that we need to indulge 100%. I respect that. I like to drink beer on occasion, and that's my self-indulgence, okay? But we have to make sure that the self-care is outweighing the self-indulgence. So the indulgences are the things that are going to be the quick fix. It's going to be the instant pleasure, the scrolling mindlessly on social media for hours, the hitting snooze on your alarm for a good 30, 45 minutes in the morning, the binge watching the, Netflix show all day when you know you have other things to do. Sure, they're going to feel good in that moment. It's going to be that quick fix, instant pleasure, but it's going to drain you over time. It's going to deplete you, right? Then there's the quality self-care. And those are the things that add value to your day, value to your life. So it would be waking up early. Who was it? Was it Laura that shared that? Waking up early and going outside, exercising, getting up on that first alarm, going to counseling, talking to a coach. These are things that are a little more uncomfortable, a little more challenging for sure. It's not quite as easy, but it's the thing that's going to add so much value to you in that moment and then in the long run as well. And so as long as our self-care is outweighing those self-indulgences, that's okay. That's what we need to make sure that we're doing. So again, I'm not going to diss all of the self-indulgences 100%, but making sure that you are doing the quality self-care on a consistent basis, that is what this is about. Because then IOME's mission is to create guilt-free self-care. So then when you start to recognize that, wow, like if I am able to, because my self-care, you guys, I didn't answer that earlier. My self-care is waking up early before the children wake up, before husband is out and about, and drinking my cup of coffee in silence. It is just heaven. It is my space. I usually will do a devotional or quiet time, or just be intentional. Maybe it's a workout too. I've been also getting up and like going on a run, which has been really powerful. Very much outside my comfort zone. But when we can do those on a more consistent basis, then it's like, I don't feel guilty in it for a second, because now I know I have that love and happiness and joy and energy to pour out to my loved ones. And so now it's just this, it's my self-care. I'm doing it. See ya. Like I'm doing it. I'm committing to it. I don't feel guilty about it, because when I do it, I know I'm a better person. I'm a better wife. I'm a better businesswoman. I'm a better mama. I'm a better therapist, client, whatever it is, friend, all of the above. So really that's where the mission of IOME comes in. And so kind of giving you a little history on it, because it's always kind of fun to see how it comes together. At least I love hearing that. I quickly burnt out in my field. So I got my master's degree in counseling. I thought landed the dream job up in Cheyenne. And I was working the long hours. I was saying yes to everything. I was in the bulldoze snowplow mode for sure, right? I was just doing all the things, saying yes left and right. And before I knew it, it was I was at my breaking point. And my breaking point is not exciting. I'm sorry to like bore you with a boring story, but it's probably relatable, right? It was where I was just clocking in and clocking out, living life on autopilot, being short-tempered with the people that I love the most, not taking care of myself, right? All of these things in combination caused me to quit on a whim. And I thought it was the industry. I thought it was the field. I said, nope, there's no way I'm going to do this again. I even let my license expire. And Morgan, you know, that's a big deal. And so I was done. I wasn't going to come back to it, because I thought it was just the whole industry in itself. And so long story short, I did a few different things, kind of really started to figure out who I was meant to be, who I was able to help, who I was as a person, first and foremost, as a mom, as a wife, and then as a businesswoman as well. And that's when I still had this stirring for mental health and for self-care. And I knew I wanted to do something different, because I do think that traditional mental health care is a little bit dated. It's 2020, for goodness sakes. Let's do some stuff different. Let's figure this out. So I thought, well, why don't we do that? Why don't we take a preventative approach? Why don't we focus on the self-care? Because I believe with my whole heart, and studies show that when you have consistent quality self-care, you can prevent the things like depression, anxiety, burnout, destructive thoughts or behaviors. So I looking back, I saw so many clients, and I could see these, they were at their breaking point. They were coming to me in their breaking point, and I could see so many signs leading up to that it's like, man, if we would have intervened here, none of this breaking point, that would have never happened for these people. What's broken? Why can't we start to intervene here? Why can't we take mental health in a more preventative approach, just like our physical health? We know, all of you know how important it is to eat healthy and to exercise and to do all those things. Why can't we do that with our mental health too? And so that was a big purpose of the IOME guilt-free self-care model. So we started it. I started the business. I always say we, but it was a combination of people giving me advice and supporting me and everything. But I started it in September of 2019. In fact, Tina, you were one of my founding members. Yes, she was one of my founding members back in May of 2018.
Yeah, I was.
Well, I called you out on that. Sorry, friend. You've given plenty of testimony, so I hope that's okay.
Oh, nope, I'm good with it. I'm happy to be a member since then.
Yeah. Yes, isn't that the coolest thing? So Tina was able to come on board in the very beginning when I was just getting my feet wet, figuring out like, hey, is this something that's needed? And after those 3 months of the pilot program, it's like, heck yeah, it's needed. It's good. Let's do this. I knew I was working in my strengths and my love and my, like, I was all jacked up on it, you guys. I was so excited about it all. So we launched, and ever since then, it's been going really beautifully. I had a baby in that time. I sold our house, moved in with the in-laws for 6 months, and then built a house, and life has happened, and it's still been this beautiful blessing, even through all of that, right? Like, not hardship. It was all beautiful, but it was challenging. So that's a little history on what it looks like. Of course, we were founded here in the Northern Colorado area, and my heart has always been with this big vision of creating different hubs, if you will, locations, regional spots. So that's when Denver was kind of planted, and I'm like, heck yeah, let's do this. And I met Morgan, and I just knew that she was going to be somebody to really take this and soar, and she has. And so that's why we are so excited to be here today, to be able to have the official grand opening. Not in the way that I would like to. I'd love to see your faces in person and hug you and celebrate, but this is the next best thing. And so I'm going to probably at the end just kind of recap a little bit about what it looks like to be a member. What does that even mean? What we have to offer, some of the discounts and things like that. So I'm actually going to do that at the end, because I don't want you guys to get sick of me talking the whole time. And yeah, any questions though, besides some of the logistics that I'll go over at the end, but any questions about the idea of IOME, the mission, the heart behind it, or me personally? I'm an open book. Okay, perfect. I always joke that you guys know we are mental health therapists, so we can handle awkward silences. So if that happens. Okay, perfect. Well, now I have the absolute pleasure of introducing our regional manager and trained supporter, Miss Morgan. I have to love on her for a hot minute. So Morgan is a licensed marriage and family therapist. And she's incredible. She has been such a blessing to the IOME mission and to what my goals and my heart is behind what we're doing since the moment that we did our very first interview. And so it's been incredible to see what has happened when I have planted the idea into Morgan. I planted that seed of what my heart is and what my vision is, and things have just aligned so well with what her vision is and what her goals are. And it's like, yes, we can do all of these things together. And so I know that's bigger than you and I. I know that's very much on purpose. And so Morgan has just been such an asset, and I have loved getting to know you, Morgan, through and through, just your therapeutic skills from what I get to hear from what your members have said, to your relationship skills, to what you've offered me personally, and to the rest of the IOME Denver area. So I'm so excited, and I will go ahead and lead it off to you, my dear.
Oh, thank you so much. I think I'm unmuted, right? Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Like I said earlier, I'm just so glad to see everybody here and to work with Becky. I really do feel very humbled and honored to have, to have this opportunity to work for IOME. not just as a supporter, but also as, part of forming the partnerships, which are so important. I think part of the reason that I really feel like this is such a good fit for me is because I really do feel that, providing care for our mental health is so important, but so are the adjunct things that we can do for ourselves, like working out, getting things squared away with our skin, getting our nutrition taken care of. And so I just, getting massage, I just really feel that it's just so important to take like a mind body approach to ourselves and to, and I feel like some of the care models, typical, right? It doesn't necessarily emphasize the whole person. It's always like kind of compartmentalized. And so I just really appreciate this full body, full spiritual, emotional support that IOME, the IOME mission embodies. So basically I am going to look at a few notes because I actually am nervous. It's so funny. I'm a therapist, so I'm more used to hearing about other people. And so just full disclosure that it is hard for me to talk about myself. But I'm going to, so, cause I know that, in working with my members and with my clients, it's important for us to kind of own our vulnerability and own our space. So really, who am I? I grew up in a home really confused about my place in the world, essentially. And I was led to believe that I wasn't, good enough, thin enough, smart enough. I developed unhealthy relationship with food, with men, and ultimately, was led down some pretty dark paths. And so I, as a young adult, did seek therapy, and I sought, other avenues for personal reflection and growth so that I would no longer be on some of that, be on some of that terrain and try to turn my life around. And so really what that meant was, taking a really good long look at myself in the mirror, essentially, metaphorically and actually literally, and just working on letting go of the negative messaging, and understanding that, that messaging in itself was a trauma, and that it's okay for me to recognize that as such and move forward from that. And so, it also meant implementing like a really good plan for self-care for myself. And that didn't just mean, going to get my nails done or, taking a bubble bath. Like those things are important, but it also meant like surrounding myself with true, caring, kind, loving people, finding, a job that felt fulfilling, and also finding a partner who appreciated me and my quirks and, my eccentricities and things like that. And that wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy path, but I feel like it was a courageous path. And so really through that hard work on myself, also, in understanding like my own authenticity, I realized, oh my gosh, like I'm actually a pretty awesome person. I guess that's a humble brag, right? But I, I really have learned how to own my space and understand that it's okay to feel good about myself. It's okay to feel worthy of love and feel worthy of kindness. And also I can help other people to find that too, because I've, gone on a similar path of not really understanding, I'm sorry, I can go on a path of understanding that it is hard to find that. It's hard to find that voice. It's hard to find that empowerment, but it is possible. So now I'm working essentially with my own kids. I have a 6-month-old and a 3.5-year-old, just understanding like how to name emotions and how to, how to work on developing their confidence. I mean, even with a 6-month-old, it's just amazing, like how much impact I feel like I can have at just such a little age. So, so now, in terms of like the professional sense, I just really enjoy working with people and understanding that their presence in the world it matters and it's important, and like energetically, spiritually, physically, like we're all beings who deserve like time, comfort, space, comfort, beauty. And so how do I do that? Right? So easy. No, it does take work, and it does take some dedication, but really the type of therapist that I feel like I've become as I've grown professionally is just really trying to take a collaborative path, I'm not a therapist that knows everything. I'm not a guru type. I don't know best. I'm trained in like diagnostic and assessment and things like that, but I'm really here to support the people that come into my life, and as you know, in a professional way. I'm really here to support them in terms of finding what's right for them and speaking their truth and finding a way to empower themselves to find like what really is meaningful and what really feels like has purpose. And so I feel like that's, that this job is really I feel like what I'm meant to do. And I just feel like the IOME mission is just so aligned with why I became a therapist in the first place. So yeah, I'm just really grateful, and let me know if you guys have any questions or thoughts about anything that I've said. Like I said, I'm really nervous. I might be talking really fast.
Good. Oh, you did a beautiful
job.
Oh, hon, you did such a beautiful job. And I love being able to be authentic. I think that's one of the best gifts that we can give one another, is just to be real, no matter if that's on a professional level or on a personal level or all of the in-betweens. I think that's so beautiful. So I appreciate your story, Morgan. I appreciate so much that you have overcome so many of those challenges, and that you have thrived in them, and that they have crafted you in the beautiful person that you are today, and the beautiful mama and wife and now therapist and all of it. So it's incredible to see. I appreciate you sharing that very much, really. Yeah, and you know, that is a big part of why we call it the way that we do. We call each other, our roles are trained supporters, because we want to be able to overcome that mental health stigma, right? We want to be able to offer support in a more authentic way, not just this diagnostic and assessment and treatment plan and the want-wants of the medical field way. And so that is why we've created IOME in the way that we have, is we want to be more authentic in it. We want to be more solution-focused, goal-oriented, of course, but also have the skill sets as us being licensed therapists, and all of our trained supporters will be, and being able to still take and go further if needed. So it's kind of blending the lines, beautifully blending the lines of, blurring the lines, of coaching and mental health counseling. Because as a member, and we'll talk a little bit more about what that looks like, but as a member, you are assigned to one of us as one of the trained supporters, and we get to identify these whole person goals, whether they're, I want to get 10,000 steps a day, or I want to work through my past trauma, or I want to go and have more fun. Whatever that looks like, our job is to hold you accountable to those. And then when we get to have these conversations, these real conversations, and you can say, dang it, it sucked. I didn't do anything. I know what to do. I know how to do it, but I just didn't do it. Then us as therapists can go deeper, and we can get to that root cause, and we can start talking about these earlier messages that you have heard that may be preventing you from whatever that is. And so again, I think that it is a beautiful concoction of the support, the accountability, the coaching, and the therapy and self-care all in one. And that's really what I wanted to create in the way that I did this now. And so that's exactly why it's so important for me to have incredible therapists on board like Morgan. And we have a couple of other people. And so whatever that looks like, that's again, a big part of what we do, is we make sure that you are going to be you're going to be assigned to whoever's going to be the most appropriate to you. And if it's not me, or if it's not Morgan, then we have other therapists on board that are ready and awesome and incredible. So, and we will have more, and especially in the Denver area. So it's going to be really incredible to see all of those things coming to fruition. So I wanted to show really quick our IOME Denver website, because it's so pretty. I'm so excited. But also because then it gives you a little snapshot of our business partners that I'm going to be introducing here in just a second. So this is the website. Take some time and explore. It goes into just a little bit more information about the therapy that we offer, the memberships, and then we do typically do events, although things are just a little bit wonky because of the situation. So the good thing with IOME, again, we'll talk a little bit more at the very end about what it looks like to be a partner, or excuse me, a member. but you actually have access to all of our business partners. So if it makes sense for you to be utilizing the Denver area partners, great, click on that and just do them. But if you also want to like explore our Northern Colorado partners, then you can click into this link, and then there's over 40 in our Northern Colorado area, because of course we've been open since September. And so in our Denver area, we have several on tonight. If in fact, I think we have everybody on. Well, maybe I think Dr. Rosia had to step away because of her kiddos, which totally understand. That's real. That's talk about authentic, right? That's real life stuff. So here is a little bit about who we have partnered, and then what happens is you get to click into their landing page, and you get to identify a little bit more about who they are, what they do, and then the discount that they offer for IOME members, exclusive to IOME members. So that's kind of the fun way that we are doing things in IOME with the discounted program as well. Okay, so I would love to have an opportunity for each of our business partners to just share a little bit about your business, kind of like in a synopsis of who you are, what you do, and why you do, but like under just a couple of minutes there, and then share what you are offering to the IOME members, so we can get that really, that can be very excited to everybody. So I know how I can utilize you guys, because I'm loving this idea, like my own IOME membership. It's been really fun, you guys. It's really fun to utilize your partner, or my partners. So anyways, and then at the end, we'll share one self-care tip. So each business partner will share one tangible self-care tip at the very end. So that should work out good. So Kristen, I'm going to pick on you again because you're just at the top of my screen.
I'm just right up here.
Yes, you are.
And Becky, I did not know that you lived in Nunn, Colorado. You were probably my dad's neighbor.
What? Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah, him and his wife live up there. So that's awesome.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's so cool. Okay, we'll have to message about that. That's interesting.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Okay, so I'm Kristen Garcia, and I founded Relaxing Restorations Massage Therapy in 2018 officially. So I've been a massage therapist for 9 years, and I've done various things in my career. I was working downtown in a spa, doing operations management at the spa. I was also a teacher for 3 years in the professional massage therapy program, the same one that I graduated from. And then when I was doing that, I was close to home, so I was able to work with private clients in my home office. And then that really started to pick up. So I became full-time private practice, working with private clients in my own business. So I decided to rent space. I share a space with a chiropractor and an acupuncturist, which is great because we collaborate on a lot of things. And bonus, we have a graphic designer who also mans the front desk, and she's incredible. She makes me look legitimate. So that's really great. Why I do what I do. So I was, my plan was actually to go into nursing. I graduated from college with a degree in psychology and sociology, was going to do post-grad work, but waited for a little while. I was working in youth services, youth corrections for 7 years after graduating. And it was eye-opening in the sense that not everyone does get the same opportunity. And it was sad for me to see these children, these teenage children, go back to places where, so they would do well, they would rehabilitate in our care, and then they would go back to families where they just couldn't continue, they couldn't be consistent. So that was heartbreaking. But the last year, so I did that for 7 years. The last year I did that, I was thinking about nursing school, and because I love being in human services, I love that piece of it. And I told Becky about this actually when her and I were getting to know each other. I'm so scared of biology and chemistry. Like biology 101 was a struggle for me in college. So thought that massage therapy, I didn't really know very much about it other than I'd gotten some great massages in my life. But I just decided to look at this school, thought that would be a good step towards nursing, and I fell in love with it. So this is where I've been for 9 years. Little thing, a little bit about me. So the business is very different from sort of the big box type massage places. So both in the body work and just in general in the way we do things, the way we run the business. So, and I say we because I have a couple of therapists who work with me. They were actually grads of the program where I was teaching, so they were my students while I was teaching. So the body work itself, I focus more on what's called myofascial release, which is a structural type of body work. And it's a great complement to chiropractic care. It's also great on its own. It helps to correct structural imbalances. It's very light pressure to very deep, just depending on what the tissue needs. And it helps to lengthen, shorten tissue and alleviate chronic pain. Because it's so gentle, it's also very relaxing. So lots of people fall asleep during sessions. The number one comment that I get, the most consistent comment that I get from clients who are new and who haven't worked with me before is, I've never had a massage like that before. So it's totally different from anything you've ever had before, unless you've had some sort of myofascial release or structural body work. And then in the business, we're different. We don't do memberships. I've stayed away from that just because that's not the business model I wanted to follow. When we book 60 minutes for an appointment, it's 60 minutes of actual massage. We offer competitive prices. In addition to being good technicians at what we do, I also feel like my job is just to create a neutral space for people where they can be who they need to be. I mean, if people just need to rant about their day, that's okay. Most people are quiet. Like I said, most people fall asleep. And I respect that and I recognize that. And I'm also really good with awkward silences, actually. I love being quiet and just creating that really wonderful space where people can just have that me time. That's so important.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good. And what are you offering IOME members?
Thank you. So, a free upgrade with every service of 60 minutes or more. And I offer a few upgrades. So heated stone massage, cupping, sliding soft cupping, which is all the rage these days, very beneficial, or CBD topicals. We have some CBD topicals that we offer in place of the regular lotion.
Okay, I love it. Oh my gosh, are you free tomorrow? I want to come. I'll make the drive. Oh, that's so cool, Kristen. Yeah, I think you and I just really connected just in our missions and what we are passionate about. And I think that's why we make a good partnership. And I'm so glad that you're on board, friend.
Thank you.
Yes, perfect. Sarah, if you want to go next.
Sure. So I'm Sarah West. I am a personal trainer, fitness trainer. I started Strong Mom. I actually was just thinking about this. I honestly couldn't tell you when I started it. It was like 2014. But my journey with fitness started a long time before that. I'm a mom of two, like I already shared. What I do is I work with clients who are overcoming some sort of or many health issues, whether it's a physical issue or sometimes mental health stuff. I personally have been through a lot of health issues, and so my mission when I started this was to meet people where they are, rather than feeling that intimidation of going into a gym setting and not really knowing what to do or who to talk to and feeling like you're not in the right shape to be there. My goal is to work with people out of my home. I have a in-home gym. Over the last few months, I've learned how to go virtual, so that's been a learning curve, but we've made it work. And I just want to help people find their own strengths, because there's so many things that we've all just discussed here that prevent us from taking care of our physical health. We all sort of know what we should do in terms of like eating better or moving more, but sometimes we're stuck. Maybe it's because we have lots of kids, or maybe it's because we've had a physical problem. So why I do what I do, I have gone through a lot of major surgeries. Just a couple of them include brain surgery and spinal surgery.
Wow.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I have chronic problems that most people can't even explain. I barely can, and I've lived with them my whole life. These are things I've learned after having kids. So prior to that, there was a lot of things of just always feeling like no matter how hard I worked out, no matter how much I moved, something wasn't connecting for me. So when I work with clients, I'm always trying to meet clients where they're at to help them bridge the gap from where they are to where they want to be going, and not feel like it's a one size fits all plan. I'm not just going to put somebody's name on a PDF and say do this every single day. I want to know who my clients are, what they want out of their own life, and I want to come alongside them to help them achieve those goals, because I know that it can be kind of hard when you have life happening all the time. Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
So good. No, I think that's exactly why we also wanted to partner with you, is because of that individualized approach. And that is, we know what we're all really passionate about is making sure it's not just this one size fit all. It's not this personal development self-help book, although those are good and sure, but we want to hear your story. You are passionate about hearing the individual story, what their concerns are, what their strengths are, etc. So I love that so much. Sarah, what are you offering our IOME members?
So I'm offering $20 off of my normal session fees every single time that you come.
So good. That's a
every
generous
single
deal.
session, $20 off.
Cool.
Yes.
So good. And it can be virtual too, so that's even
It
better.
can be virtual too, absolutely. And like I said, I have a full gym in my house with all of the things, and I get very creative and do not, like, so many people I talk to on the phone will say things like, well, I don't know how to squat, or my knee is bad, and I'm prepared. I literally have seen everything and more. All of the joints replaced, chemo recovery, moms with all kinds of issues. I think everybody here is a mom, or many of you are a mom. We all know what happens to our bodies after we've had babies inside of them. So I'm prepared for that too. I've done a lot of school to learn all of the parts inside and out. So I feel like ready to meet you. I just want to make people better. I don't want to put any pressure on anyone ever to be something they think they're supposed to be, but rather help them discover who they want to be.
Good, friend. Oh, that's so good. Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah. Perfect. Miss Shannon with Healthy Honeys.
Hello, ladies. It's been so great to hear kind of what the other partners offer, and I'm just so happy to be part of this. I met Becky through a very close friend of mine last year when we were actually doing a Healthy Honeys and IOME event at a fun winery up in Fort Collins. So fun. Oh my gosh, it was just so fun. And so a little bit about myself. I am the founder and CEO of Healthy Honeys. And what Healthy Honeys is at-home cannabis parties for women. We also have our own CBD products. So how I got started in the business is I've been working in cannabis for the last 13 years, but it wasn't until I started using CBD that I really saw the benefits of mental health and for anxiety and depression. And I had lots of friends in my life who maybe chose different things to use to cope, whether that was alcohol or pharmaceuticals. And I realized, being in cannabis for as long as I had in 2014, that I had a really great knack to educate about CBD and educate about in a real approachable way. And that's something and why Healthy Honeys was born. We have all natural, all organic skincare and tincture products. One of my favorite products for self-care is our relaxing rose bath salt, because it'll just be nice to kind of let you take kind of all of the distractions away and just really relax with that. And I just think it really pairs well with what IOME is trying to really do. What we're talking about is that CBD helps me give me that time to kind of slow down and help me cope with the stressors of life and give myself the little ally, as I call it, or my little plant ally to really move through those feelings that I'm feeling. And some of them can be intense. And obviously all of our products are THC free as well. So that's something that's really important for a lot of our mothers and all of, depending on where you live, obviously even in Colorado and what type of job you do. So for IOME members, we're actually offering 20% off of all of our products. And if you'd like to do an at-home party, we'll also throw in a gift bag for whoever throws the at-home party as well, if you're an IOME member.
Sweet. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Shannon's kind of a big deal, you guys. Her business was on which show?
The Today Show we were on last year.
Kind of a big deal, right, in and of itself. And you are nationwide, correct?
Yep. We're nationwide. We're in 35 different states, and we have about 200 women that sell Healthy Honeys products. The one thing that's a little bit different from us that I know people think when you say the at-home party is that we're a multi-level marketing pyramid company, right? We're not that at all. We are an education-first company, and you know, when you look at our target demographic, it is people who know nothing about cannabis or maybe think it's really bad, right? And I'm here, and all of our honeys, you know, our honeys have to go through a 2.5 hour long course to even actually have parties and sell the product. So really I'm here, education, all about cannabis, why it works for some people, why it doesn't, and all of those absorption methods. And then as an IOME member, get that discount off.
Heck yeah, it is so good. I was definitely one of those that knew nothing and probably had some bias, I'll be honest, Shannon. And when I met you and met up with Rory, it was such a relief just to be educated. And I think that was the key. And that's what I've loved about having you guys on board. Rory with Healthy Honeys has been in Northern Colorado. And so we're so honored really that we get the like founding owner kind of big deal, Miss Shannon over there as part of our Denver area partner. So we're so stoked to have you on board, and I have loved the products. I won't go on about which one my favorite one is because it's I'll just leave that for imagination, but it's all really good. I wouldn't have gotten it, but it was a free gift, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
There you go. Well, thank you.
Shannon knows. But anyways, really, truly, like the just a great company, great people, great organization. So we're so excited, and 20% off. What a steal! Yeah. Okay, next partner is Miss Cynthia.
Hi guys. So just, I don't know, can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yep, we're good.
Okay, great. I'm sorry, the lighting in here is not ideal.
Okay,
kind of lost it all and don't have any great lighting. But so as you know, I'm Cynthia Sass. I'm the founder, sole practitioner at True Skincare, licensed esthetician. So I founded True Skincare back in 2010. I had attended the Concentric Healing Institute. This was a school that I really sought out. I was living in Madison, Wisconsin at the time, was going through a divorce, and knew I was going to be starting my life over as I knew it, and had been a makeup artist, have been a makeup artist for over 35 years now. I've worked, commercial, runway, print, film, and but skincare. I have a daughter who had very severe skin issues, and after one drug after the other, antibiotics, steroids, I started to figure out how to get to the root of the problem. And so my passion really became figuring out that connection with the inside to the outside of skin, and why we have issues that we have. So through that, I sought out a school that really worked with that philosophy. And I found a tiny little school here in Boulder, Colorado called Concentric Healing Institute. The owner has now finally retired, but it was all about Eastern, Western modalities and working from the inside out. So it incorporated, massage and meditation and herbs and just everything for whole body for skincare. So, that really was kind of where my start came from as far as what I learned and what I ran with. So straight out of school, I opened up True Skincare and wanted to just really offer a boutique approach, a consultative one-on-one approach. So developing relationships with people, consulting and really understanding what's going on with them and getting to the root of the problem. So these are generally people who sought me out were people who didn't want to go to a dermatologist, take a pill and work with prescription topicals and internals. So it's more, I want to figure out what's going on, why, and how to make my skin the best that it can be. And I'm willing to do the work. So that's really what my client base was about. So why I do what I do, because I feel like there is so much more to skincare than slapping a cream on your face and, doing a massage. Facial massage is great, but there's just so much more. And so I'm really driven to do that because I feel like people with skincare issues, a lot of times are very much underserved. They're given a pill, they're given a drug, they're given a dermatologist. Nothing wrong with dermatologists, but fixing the problem and figuring out what's wrong and doing the work together. That's really, I want to create change in the skin. So that's what True Skincare is really all about. And so that's kind of, and just going back, so how I came to be with this, incredible group I'm kind of humbled by, and Becky's, just child here. So Morgan was my client, and I hope I can say this, Rosia was my client also. And so Morgan had approached me to see about having me join this incredible IOME group. And I am incredibly humbled to have been approached and be part of this, because you all are just a tribe of women that are incredible. So anyway, so let me get into what was the next thing. So what my offer is to the IOME community. So I'm offering 20% off of all of my virtual services. So I have a curation of online services, and so I'm offering 20% off, and that is an ongoing offer. So you can use that for any, all, and continual visits with me virtually. And then I have a curated line that I have been working on for over 2 years with one of the top skincare formulators I'd say in the nation, but definitely in Colorado. And we have finally dialed in an incredible product line that I've been tweaking, it seems like forever. So those products are finally coming to market through the COVID pandemic. The trigger was finally pulled. And so I am offering, So I'm offering 15% off to all of the IOME members. So that's pretty much it. So I'm here to serve, and I'm here to answer questions, and
I love it so much. I can't wait to get my hands on some of your stuff. Cynthia, it's going to be so great. What a blessing that you have to offer so many people. So I love it. Yep, I can't echo everything that you said enough, just the what your purpose is. And I think that's just so perfectly aligned with what we're doing, and that it is so much of that inside out. My kid's brushing her teeth, so if you hear that.
Great.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Cynthia. And what a great offering too for all of us IOME members, and I'm taking advantage, so you guys better do it too. And then Miss Beth, can you share next? If she's in space.
There we go.
Yep, we can hear you. Yep, you're good to go.
Okay, I don't know what the heck is going on. So, like I said, I'm Beth Hairston. I forgot to say, so I do property management and real estate, but then I also became a representative for Zaya Active, which is an active wear line. I think we definitely, yeah, they're great stuff. Like you can see, for instance, like Lululemon, which I'm a Lululemon total fan was before, and I used to get a discount because I have I've done my yoga certified training, and so I would even get a 30% discount off of that, and I would still not come down to the prices on Zaya. So Zaya, just let me give you a little bit of background on Zaya. It was started in February of 2017 by a gal named Erin Bradley. She's a mother of 4. She's real into empowering and uplifting women, which I really like, you know, that whole concept. They have very good quality. The line is very good quality. They have, you know, men, women, children, everything. And they've just had some issues recently with their website, and I think it's because everyone's at home. Everyone, like, now I wear yoga pants to work every day because I don't see my clients hardly, you know. So now when I go to put on a pair of jeans, I go, oh snap, that's not good. But I really like their clothes. I like their, like I said, the quality. They have extended their return policy right now to a 90-day return policy. And we also have ways to, like for instance, if you get something and you wash it and you just, you know, you wear it once and you wash it and you still don't like it, I can still get some returns going through. We have a website where it's just reps that can kind of do trading back and forth in that. So you're not just necessarily stuck with that product. I just was looking today, they're really good. We have a great marketing site also, and they'll do comparisons between like Under Armour and Lululemon and all the different, you know, big name brands, you know, Victoria's Secret. And as long as you follow their washing instructions, which are, you know, cold, you know, it's typical what you should do, cold water, gentle cycle, that type of thing. You're going to get a lot longer wear out of it. But for instance, there's a pair of like really cute kind of like leggings, but they're like right above your knees. They were $38 for Zaya and they were $83 for Lululemon. It's a huge difference, you know, and we all of course are worried about, you know, saving money, so forth.
Right.
So, and they fit all sizes. They have all the way from 0 up to, I think the largest size is like 20. They have, some of the leggings are more compression than others. Some are more like just, like our Luxe line is just, you know, they look nice and they feel nice. And especially like I do hot yoga, and so I can't do a lot of super compression pants or super thick pants because I just die in there. So, but yeah, that's about it. I am offering a $20, I call it a gift card, but what I've done, like I had 2 people actually I think from up north, from you, Becky, that purchased something through my party that I just closed out. And so what I do is I just give you, like, I can't actually give a gift card, so to speak. And so what I do is I'll just do a $20 credit back on your Venmo account afterwards. So whatever you purchase, I will give you a $20 gift card. So
awesome.
And then,
so good. I love it. Thank you so much, Beth. Yes, it's definitely go take some time and preview some of what they have to offer, because they really do have some great stuff. I have lived in the joggers ever since I got them until it gets a little too warm, but they're going to be my winter pants for sure, 100%. So anyways, I love the products, definitely. And so be on the lookout, you guys. We're going to have lots and lots of more business partners who are offering more incredible services or products. And like I said, memberships are going to be universal. You can use them from anywhere. If you travel down to Denver and you're like, hey, I could use a massage in between my work appointments, then heck yeah, take advantage. You can always, most of what we can do is online, so you can do that from wherever. So there's such good, beautiful benefits. I'm going to just really quickly go over what it looks like to be an IOME member. So that way, you know, if you're talking to business partners, if you're talking to your customers, or if you as a business partner think you could benefit, which I think we all could, from more guilt-free self-care, then those are always options too. So I'll just briefly go over this, and then we will do our self-care tip and then do our drawings. And I know a couple people had to drop off, so if they won, I will connect them to what they got. So this is what it looks like if my internet works. Okay, so we have 3 different types of memberships, all the way from the basic, which just is, so it's for the person who already is doing self-care. They already know they need to do it, and now they can just do it at a discount. And so basically it's $25 a month, and you get invited to our events, and also you get a universal member ID card that gives you access to all of our business partners. And if you start doing that math, when you take off 15% of your skincare, and then you take off 20% of your massages or your workouts or your CBD products, I mean, my goodness, it really does add up. And the 25 is a no-brainer for sure, because really, truly, it's going to be saving on your current self-care routine, and then it's obviously going to give you access to some of these other things that you may not have considered before. And then there's going to be the standard and the all-inclusive. This is going to be for those who just need more support. They are coming in thinking, I have no idea where to even start. I need accountability. I've heard about self-care. I know I need to do it. I just am not doing it. That's where I would recommend somebody coming in. As business partners, you do get a discounted standard or all-inclusive membership. So if that's something that you want to take advantage of in your business goals, in your strategy, in your personal life, because let's be clear, it's all blended together. And then you get access to discounted services, of course. You actually get assigned to a therapist, one of our trained supporters. You get individualized goals. Again, they're whole person comprehensive goals. You have weekly check-ins based on those goals. You get monthly accountability sessions as well. And so that's a heck of a steal if you were to compare that to any other type of coaching or counseling services out there. And then the only difference between the all-inclusive and the standard is that you could utilize the all-inclusive service for therapy, and it's just a little bit more cost affordable. So if you know you need a little bit of everything, and you're like, yes, I need that additional hour session, then that's going to be the best membership for you. So that's it in a nutshell of what it looks like to be part of the membership program. And if you have questions about that, reach out. I will send everybody a follow-up email after this and go into more detail. But from here, I would love, as I get ready to do the drawing, and I'm just going to go ahead and say, well, Miss Tina, you are the only non-partner that stayed on the whole time, so you get to pick your gift. So how about that? And then we'll just draw who gets next, and then I will email the people who were the next follow-up member, or follow-up winners, and they get to choose as well. Okay. One tangible self-care tip. Sarah, I'm going to pick on you first.
I've actually been thinking about this so much, and I think that I've made myself sort of feel confused and crazy about it. I'm going to go back to my original where I started, which is to actually feel yourself breathe. When you start having a moment of feeling overwhelmed, or there's too much to do, or the kids need you, we always talk about taking deep breaths and count to 10 or count to 3. Instead of counting, just feel the breath. Just feel your breath going into your body. Feel your body relax and let go as the breath leaves your body. And do that a few times, and actually acknowledge yourself in the moment that you're in, because that's all you're doing by feeling your breath rather than just counting through your breath.
That's good. I love that. Very good. Beautiful self-care tip. Okay. Kristen.
All right. So something that I started doing actually pretty recently, since being back at work, is I stopped checking my phone in the morning before I got to work.
Yeah, that is such a good one.
It was such a it's a habit that I've developed over a long time, because my phone's always right there, my alarm's there, so I'm checking it. But yeah, with going back to work, I noticed there needs to be a separation between home and work. So yeah.
So good. Awesome. Cynthia, do you have yours?
I do. So I think you might like this one. It's kind of a get out of jail free card. Might come as a bit of a surprise, but not washing your face in the morning. So just not using your cleanser in the morning. I'm a huge fan of just rinsing your face with some water, or if you're a morning shower person, great, let the water run on your face, but no cleansing in the morning. Your skin will thank you so much. You're not stripping away this, you know, the beautiful oils on your skin, all the repair, all the balance that your skin has created through the night. You want that on your face. That's the biggest gift you can give, and it's one less step, and your skin will thank you so much for it. So try it for a week, see what you think.
I will. That's blowing my mind. I love it. Thank you so much, Cynthia.
You're
Beth,
so
welcome. Do you have a self-care tip that we can walk away with?
Well, I think relating to the Zaya, I would say, you know, if you feel good about the way you look, it kind of helps your attitude throughout the day. And I know when I put on a pair of, you know, leggings and a cute little top and stuff and a cute little pair of shoes and what, you know, you feel good. You have an attitude, you feel sassy, you know, it just kind of helps all across the board. So.
I love that. Being intentional about what we wear, I think is right. It feels like doesn't matter, but it really does. It really does impact the rest of our day. So I love that one. Thank you, Beth. Yeah. Morgan, what is yours?
Mine is just to make sure that you get outside a little bit every day and get a little bit of sun. I just have to remind myself that all the time, especially now with working from home, being at home all the time. So
yes, so
just
good.
making
Take
sure to get
advantage of
outside
it while we have it, right?
Yeah.
I love it. And then mine is going to be super like straightforward, tangible versus like mental health wise, but this has changed me when I heard it. So drink a glass of water before you drink your coffee or you drink your tea or you drink whatever it is that you drink in the morning. So first thing, drink that tall glass of water before you dive into the coffee. So that's super simple, but it's those small things that can add up. Okay, well, Tina, you get to choose, my friend. So you get to choose between Zaya, the activewear, a $20 gift to that. Healthy Honeys, Shannon, she had to pop off. She said somebody showed up at her house. So Shannon has a $50 valued gift. I believe it was the bath salts and one of the tinctures. How do you pronounce that? Yeah. Something like that. So one of her products, but it's valued at $50 with her CBD company. And then Kristen is doing a 30-minute free 30-minute massage as well. And then of course we're doing the IOME journals, which you've seen. So which one do you want, friend?
Oh goodness, they're all really good choices. Let's do the activewear.
Ooh, cool. Okay. Awesome. Beth, I will give you Tina's information and you guys can hook up to get that coordinated.
Yeah, you'll love it.
Awesome. Thank you, Beth.
Perfect.
And Becky both.
Yay, cool. Okay, well, I will do the drawing since it won't be as fun since they're not participating live, and then I will connect the business partner with who wins, and then you guys can take care of them on your end. But regardless, you guys, thank you so much for your time. I am so grateful to have gotten a chance to get to know all of you and even getting to know my business partners more. It's been truly a blessing. So I appreciate your time. Take those self-care and act on it, right? Because remember that you deserve the best because your loved ones deserve the best of you, not what's left of you. And if we can live in that mindset, I think that really can change lives in a beautiful way. So thank you guys so much. Reach out to us if you have any questions, any thoughts, any feedback. We are happy, but I want to make sure we wrap up on time. So thank you guys.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Becky.